Councilman Brown, would you please read the invocation?
Yes. Thank you, Council President. Heads bowed. God our Father, we celebrate Independence Day as we pause for a few moments to give thanks for our nation conceived in liberty and dedication to the principles that all men and women are endowed by their Creator with certain rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Give to the people of our country a zeal for justice, the strength, and for our fair barons, that we may use our liberty in accordance with your gracious will. A moment of silence. Amen.
Ms. Capone, please read the open public meeting statement.
This notice of this meeting has been sent to the official newspapers, and adequate and electronic notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act as required by law.
Thank you. I need an approval for the June 10th, 24th combined meeting minutes and the June 17th special meeting minutes.
Make a motion.
Motion
So
and
moved.
second.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Jabliska?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parker is absent. Timmons?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes. At this time, we're going to have a swearing in of firefighters. Please come forward, whoever is going to thank you.
So before we get started with swearing in the new firefighters, I want to take the time to thank Mayor Jacoby, DA Carhan, and Assistant DA Matt Punkovich, and the entire city council. Because without their support, we wouldn't be able to do all this. We would be able to move our department forward, keep our manpower, and keep our equipment up to date. So right now, we're training on new equipment that just got delivered, and without their support, none of that would happen. So we have 8 new firefighters to swear in today. They take up about a 4-month class where there's classroom and hands-on activity in all aspects of firefighting. It's very difficult, it's very time-consuming. It isn't without injury and accident. It's very realistic. The profession and what we do is very experience-based, so we try to give these guys the best experience, real-life experience as we possibly can, and their training never stops through their entire career. So they did a great job. They put in a lot of work. They're putting in a lot of extra work now, and kudos to them for doing that. So thank you everyone for your support. First, to start off, we have 8 new firefighters. We'll start with Ryan Bringwest.
You might have muted it. Yeah, there you go. He's gonna need Chief. I'll stand over here. There it is. There you go. We figured it out. There you go, Chief. Hold that microphone. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I moved, Chief. Come on, we talked about this.
No.
Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ryan Bringuez,
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And to the constitutions established.
And to the constitutions established
In the United States.
in the United States
And in this state.
and in this state.
Under the authority of the people.
And under the authority of the people.
And that I will faithfully.
And I will faithfully.
Impartially.
And partially.
And justly perform.
All the duties of Rahway firefighter.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
We should make mention that Ryan out of the entire class in the fire academy and 4 fire department. He had the highest grade point average in the entire class, so kudos for him. Okay, next we're going to bring up Richard Dubinsky.
Left hand on the Bible, right hand in the air. Face to face,
Face
crowd.
Come over here, stand over here.
Next to the chief. You're gonna have dress
There you go.
rehearsals next time, chief.
Yes.
Please repeat after me, sir. I state your name.
I, Richard Dubicki,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States
the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey.
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance in the same,
and to the governments established
and the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
be partially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of firefighter
all the duties of a firefighter
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, next we're going to bring up Daniel Green.
Left hand on your Bible, right hand in the air, please. Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Daniel Brum,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
all the duties of Rahway firefighter
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, next we're going to bring up Charles Kaminsky.
Left hand on the Bible, right hand in the air. Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Charles Kaminsky,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of Rahway firefighter
all the duties of Rahway firefighters
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So cute. Oh.
we're gonna bring up Ryan Irvin.
Me too. Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Brian Irvin,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of Rahway firefighter
all the duties of Rahway firefighter
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, sir.
Next, Jonathan Torres.
Left hand on the Bible, right hand in the air, and please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jonathan Torres,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of Rahway firefighter
all the duties of a Rahway firefighter
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, sir.
Next, Ryan Collins.
Hand on the Bible, right hand in the air, and please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ryan Collins,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of Rahway firefighter
all the duties of Rahway firefighter
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Daniel Gibson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and I will bear true faith and
allegiance to the same,
allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of Rahway firefighter
all the duty of Rahway firefighter
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, I just want to take the time to thank the mayor and city council, the business administrator, and real quick, all the members of the Rahway Fire Department that work at the fire academy, take their time with training all the new recruits, not only from this department, but departments all through the county. Half of our department has less than 4 years of active service. We've done 3 large classes, 3 classes in a row, all with between 7 and 9 members, which is extremely difficult to do. And I want to thank BC Brian Thornton, who sets up all these training, makes sure they get through all that. There it is in the back, stand up, Brian. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's all on his shoulders. He's done a fantastic job keeping these guys ready, so thank you. Thank you very much, Chief.
If I could, Council President, I would just like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the new inductees to our Rahway Fire Department. You've chosen to be one of Rahway's bravest, and that comes with a lot of responsibility. You now have the care and the lives of the individuals here in the city of Rahway in your hands, and that's something that you should take very seriously. I want to thank all the families. I want to let them know that as long as myself and the city council are sitting up here, you will have the 100% support of the Rahway Fire Department, and these individuals will have the skill set and the tools that they need to come home safe to you every night. So I want to thank them again for their commitment to our great city, and congratulations, gentlemen.
You're welcome, Mayor. Congratulations again. You guys are welcome to stay while we conduct our monthly meeting. If not, I'm just going to thank you. I didn't really want to say.
Oh. No, I had, oh, it's right there. It's in the blue folder. The blue folder.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and move forward with the meeting tonight. We have 3 proclamations for tonight. The first one is honoring a former City Councilman, James C. Jones, Jr.
If the family members of Councilman Jones is here, we would ask them to please join us up at the dais.
Hey, big man. How are you? You good? This proclamation, here. This proclamation to James C. Jones, Jr. means a lot to me because I served with Jimmy on council. So it reads, James C. Jones, Jr. was raised in Rahway, attended Rahway schools, and graduated from Rahway High School in 1970. And whereas he was elected and served as a council member at large from January 1 in 1991 through December 31st, 2006 with distinction. He was elected to council president in 1993, 1997, and 2004, and council vice president in 1998 and 2005. Whereas James C. Jones earned the respect of the residents of the city of Rahway for his devotion, his fairness, integrity, leadership, qualities, and his willingness to assure a position on difficult issues. And whereas he compiled a superb record of service, earned the respect of his colleagues, and exemplified the highest ideals and principles of public service. And whereas his memory will live on through his beloved children, family, and friends. Now therefore it be proclaimed that Raymond A. Jacoby, Jr., Mayor of the City of Rahway, in behalf of the City Council, do hereby recognize and honor James C. Jones, Jr. as a shining example of the community involvement and dedication and encouragement of all residents of Rahway to remember the legacy in the public service to the city of Rahway and the citizens. Signed by Mayor Raymond Giacobbe, Jr. I'd like to present this to you, Shelby. All right? You know, like it says again, I'm quite sure your dad give you good strength, made you make him proud of what you might do in your life because Jimmy was good. To his brother, continue to do the good work here in the city of Rahway. We all respect the Jones family.
I would just like to give my deepest heartfelt condolences on behalf of myself, the Rahway City Council, and my family to yours. We've known each other for many, many years. And, you know, as a father, you know, you want to leave behind a legacy that your kids can be proud of. And I can truly say that you should be proud of the legacy your father left behind. He was a great man. He did a lot for this city, and it is my honor to honor him today at our council meeting. On behalf of myself, the City Council, Councilman Dave Brown, who knew him very well, I want to thank you for lending the city of Rahway your father for as many years as you did, because he did a lot for our city, and I'm so, so sorry for your loss. And same to you, for your brother's loss. So, God bless. Would you like to say a few things? Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I don't want to not give you the opportunity to speak either, so it's totally up to you. You just take the mic. Can't figure it out.
Well, I'm not the public speaker that my father was, but I just want to say thank you, Mayor, for bestowing this proclamation. I'm sure my dad is very happy and proud to receive it, and I'm proud to stand here in front of everyone and receive it on his behalf. And I miss him, and I know it'll get easier as time goes on, but the day isn't yet. So, but thank you everyone.
Thank you.
We're going to move on with the French American Heritage Month. Councilwoman Newberry.
Miles.
Miles.
Proclamation French American Heritage Month. Whereas millions of Americans trace their ancestry to France, Quebec, Arcadia, and other French-speaking parts of the world. And whereas the United States shares a common border with Canada, a country with which we have also shared a long history of cordial relations and prosperous trade. And whereas brave French settlers helped establish New France in the 16th century. And whereas King Louis XVI, the Marquis de Lafayette, and other brave Frenchmen made immeasurable contributions in our war for independence. And whereas Alexis de Tocqueville's classic book, Democracy in America, has taught and inspired generations of American students. And whereas French Major Charles Pierre L'Enfant helped design the city plan of the capital of this nation. And whereas the people of the United States share with the French people a common love for liberty and many other things. And whereas the Statue of Liberty was presented as a gift from France to the people of New York and was created by sculptor Frédéric Auguste Barthold. And whereas the United States and France have fought together against Nazism, fascism, communism, and imperialism. And whereas the pride and work ethic of the Franco-American community has contributed greatly to the prosperity and culture of this nation. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Joanna Miles, on behalf of Raymond A. Giacobbe Jr., Mayor of the City of Rahway, and on behalf of the whole of the City Council, do hereby proclaim July 2024 French American Heritage Month in the City of Rahway, and urge all citizens to celebrate the French American people, language, culture, and to acknowledge their significance to the state of New Jersey and the United States of America. Merci beaucoup.
Disability Pride Month.
Proclamation, Disability Pride Month. Whereas on July 26, 1990, the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law to ensure the civil rights of peoples with disabilities, and whereas this legislation established a clear and comprehensive national mandate for the elimination of discrimination against individuals with disabilities in all areas of life and honor their many unique talents and skills, and whereas the ADA has expanded opportunities for Americans with disabilities by reducing barriers, changing perceptions, and increasing full participation in community life. And whereas disability is a diverse identity in and of itself, encompassing those with physical, intellectual, developmental, emotional, invisible, acquired, chronic, device-assisted disabilities, and more. And whereas the creation of equitable and inclusive environments is a matter of social justice and must be the shared responsibility of every person, regardless of ability, in order for true change to occur. And whereas we must recognize the value and connection of the disability experience in our lives, acknowledge and address the barriers presented to individuals with disabilities in our societies, and appreciate that diversity makes our city stronger. Now, therefore, on behalf of Raymond A. Giacobbe, Mayor of the City of Rahway, and my colleagues on City Council and the citizens of Rahway, we celebrate and recognize the progress that has been made by reaffirming the principles of equality and inclusion and recommitting our efforts as a nation to reach full compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Thank you. Thank you, council members, for acknowledging and recognizing and honoring former Councilman James C. Jones, and to the other council members for the proclamation. So thank you. We're going to move on to communications. Ms. Capone, do we have any communications from the mayor, city's council, or city officer, or on bill payment?
You received the payment of bills for June, the police report for June, and the SID report. I don't know, Mayor, do you have any report?
Nothing at this time, Council President. I'd just like to wish everybody a happy belated 4th of July and hope everybody had a safe and pleasant weekend. And just stay safe out there for the rest of the summer. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Do we have any reports from council?
No, there's no reports.
Okay, we're going to go ahead. We're going to move on to hearing from the citizens, this portion of the meeting. Ms. Capone, do we have anyone signed up?
No one has signed up.
Okay. We don't have anyone signed up. Do I have anyone on my left that would like to speak? Anyone on my right that would like to speak? This portion of the meeting is closed. Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to ordinance on first reading. We're going to start with O-2424.
An ordinance by the City of Rahway authorizing the installation of a four-way stop at the intersection of Jefferson Avenue and Stone Street and amending the code of the City of Rahway.
We're going to give that one to Newberry and Jablisco. Does council have any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Jablisco, Miles,
Yes.
Mohica,
Yes.
Newberry,
Yes.
Parker's absent, Timmons.
Yes.
Parker's here.
Oh, he is. Oh, I didn't see him come in. Parker? Councilman Parker?
I said yes.
Oh, okay, Timmons
Yes.
and Parson.
Yes. O-2524.
An ordinance amending Chapter 401 of the Code of the City of Rahway, Vehicles and Traffic.
Myself and all of council. Does council have any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Jablisco, Miles,
Yes.
Mohica,
Yes.
Newberry,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Timmons,
Yes.
Parson.
Yes. O-2624.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to enter into a payment in lieu of parking agreement between the City of Rahway and conditional redeveloper Esterbrook Senior Housing LLC for the benefit of a senior affordable housing project at Block 151, Lot 20, 21, 22, 23, and a portion of Lot 7 on the official tax map of the City of Rahway to be known as 1410 Esterbrook Avenue.
Make that Newberry and Miles. Does council have any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Jablisco,
Yes.
Miles,
Yes.
Mohica,
Yes.
Newberry,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Timmons,
Yes.
Parson.
Yes.
These ordinances are deemed adopted on first reading and will come up for public hearing and final adoption on August 12, 2024 at 7 p.m.
Thank you. We're going to move on to resolutions, starting with AR 16124.
A resolution awarding a contract to Najarian Associates for professional services for flood mitigation feasibility study for Orchard Creek at Lents Court and Madison Avenue.
Make that myself and Brooks. Does council have any questions or comments? AR 16224.
A resolution ratifying payment to Berto Construction Incorporated for emergency sinkhole repairs at the intersection of West Meadow Avenue and Jefferson Avenue pursuant to NJSA 40A:11-6.
Myself and Mohica. Does council have any questions or comments? AR 16324.
A resolution to accept and receive a grant from the New Jersey Department of Health, Office of Local Health for Strengthening Local Public Health Capacity Program 2025.
Myself and all of council. Does council have any questions or comments? AR 16424.
A resolution authorizing a disabled veteran exemption for Paul Triggs.
Myself and Brooks. Does council have any questions or comments? AR 16524.
A resolution authorizing the refund of money due to the redemption of tax sale certificates for 2021 and 2022 tax liens.
Got Parker and Timmons, please. Does council have any questions or comments? AR 16624.
A resolution authorizing the refund of overpayment of taxes for the calendar year 2024.
Jablisco and Miles, please. Does council have any questions or comments? AR 16724.
A resolution authorizing the City of Rahway to enter into the Employee Assistance Program Plan Agreement for the period of July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025.
I've done myself and all of council. Does council have any questions or comments? AR 16824.
A resolution approving submission of a grant application and execution of a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for MA 2025 Maple Terrace, Milton Boulevard, and Jefferson Avenue, -00511.
Got Newberry and Brown. Does council have any questions or comments? So we're going to go ahead. This is a consent agenda. The resolution will be adopted as one motion, one consent agenda. Does any council member wish to have any resolutions removed from consent agenda? May I have a mover and a second to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes. Thank you. We're going to move on to ordinance on second reading, starting with O-2024. But before you read it, I would like to bring up a professional planner from the higher rule, Mr. John Barry. Good evening.
There you go. Is that better? Good evening, Council President. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me this evening. Briefly, before you get on to the second reading of the ordinance, just wanted to give a very brief overview of what's before you as a new redevelopment plan for Block 312. Really, this is a property that is located right in the heart of the city's downtown, opposite the train station, and it represents an excellent redevelopment site in the city. Broad overview of the project, or the plan, permits height up to 12 stories, a minimum height of 5 stories. This mirrors essentially some of the mass that's located across the street with the Watt building. However, realistically, it's most likely that we'd see a 5 or 6 story development because of some of the parking constraints and construction costs. However, from a planning perspective, it makes sense to try to maximize the potential for some height downtown. Right across the street from the train station is really one of the kind of last crown jewel properties remaining for a major redevelopment project. So while the plan calls for mixed-use development, retail component that essentially mirrors the public plaza diagonally across East Milton and includes some public amenity space, along with parking in a ratio that we feel is comfortable based on observations elsewhere in the city and the proximity to the train station, and then residential units that would essentially, you'd end up with a balance. How much parking could the site accommodate, and then how many units could be parked would most likely dictate the overall scale of the project. So if anyone from the council has any questions, be happy to answer them, but it's just a brief overview for everyone's information.
Sir, I'm sorry, Mayor Jacoby, if I can, Council
Go ahead,
President,
Mayor.
could you just please state your name and your qualifications for the council and the public, please?
I'm sorry. Thank you, Mayor. John Barry with Higher Gruel and Associates. I'm a professional planner and working with the city and the redevelopment agency on a variety of projects over the last several years.
Thank you. Does council have any comments or questions for Mr. Barry? Thank you for providing us with that information. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President.
Ms. Capone, would you please read O-2024?
An ordinance adopting the Block 312 redevelopment plan pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A:12A-1 et set.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to open up for to hear from the public. Has anyone signed up to speak on O-2024?
Yes, Alan R. Levy, 254 Oak Street.
Please step forward, provide your name, address.
As you probably all know,
My wife would agree, I don't need one. But minimum 5 stories, maximum 12. But don't worry, it's probably not going to be 12 stories. Then why give the exemption? Why allow it? Because you're sending that message that, yeah, it may be 12 stories, but it probably won't be. Trust us. I mean, do we want a downtown that's riddled with monstrosity buildings like the current hotel that's 16 stories? Now, maybe you do. I don't. You know, maybe you do want more high-rise rental buildings. And maybe that's a good thing, maybe not. I know that when I moved into this town, as, you know, a single-family home occupant owner, you know, I like the way that the current mixed-use planning of our city is, that we don't have an overwhelming number of people looking for parking, looking to use the town's facilities and whatnot. So I ask you, what do you want this downtown to look like 10 years from now? And will you be willing, I know many of you are up for election coming up in 4 months, are you willing to defend that vision of what that would look like, riddled with 12-story buildings? Is that something you're willing to defend to the voters? Maybe, I don't know. I guess the voters will decide themselves. Also, will this be part of a pilot tax program? Now, I'm a registered Republican, one of the few in this town. And one would argue, well, don't you want low taxes? Well, yes, I do. But that's not what that would be. It would be a redistribution of tax burden from the landlords, from the property developers, to the homeowners that live in this town. Because not only would you have a burden of more people moving into Rahway, exceeding efforts or exceeding the capacity of our public sector services, but the burden and increase of the tax revenue needed would be then placed upon the homeowners that are already there. And is that the message you want to send? And if it is, well, I guess we will see you in November. So I would just hope that this council understands what message is being sent to the homeowners of this town. And if that's what you want, well, I can tell you I don't want that, and I know there are other homeowners in this town that don't want that. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have someone else signed up to speak?
He was the only one.
Do I have anyone on my left that would like to speak on O 2024? Please state your name and address.
My name is David G., and I live in the monstrosity. I understand it and would largely echo the previous speaker's comments, with one addition. If we are going to build a building or set of buildings that are a minimum of 5 stories, with no guarantee that they will not be taller for rental units, then we're also decreasing the property values of the property owners in that building by obstructing the views that have elevated their property values to this point. Those are people who are moving to this city, including myself, from New York, from other areas of New Jersey, because they like the feel of this town. And see an opportunity not only to live in a downtown that is prospering, that is building back up, but an opportunity to buy into that and stay in that downtown core, instead of being perpetual renters and paying that rent for life. They're building wealth for themselves, for their children, and that's an opportunity that will be shortchanged by
Thank you. Do I have anyone to my right that would like to speak on O2024? Please state your name and address.
They needed more space for students. They lost a couple of rooms to fill it in with students due to the overcrowding. And I'm just concerned with the developing going on that we're not addressing the issue of not having enough space for our kids in school. So I don't know if that's something, you know, with these developers that come here and want to build properties, to have them put back into Rahway to address that in some sort of way about the schools. Because I went to the board meeting in the 16th where they actually addressed the school budget, and what stood out to me was the increase in students. I don't care if the developers are saying there's an increase in students from 2019 until now. That stood out to me. It was a good amount of kids, and it's going to continue. And how they're addressing it at the school board level is they're ordering partitions to separate rooms to make more room for more kids. So they're just squeezing kids into space, and they're putting up partitions to make separate rooms. That's just not acceptable. So I'm really coming here to say we're going to be doing all this developing. We have to address the other areas in which this is affecting, and our schools being overcrowded is one of them. And I've even addressed this at the last a few board meetings, and it's just kind of like, yeah, I mean, we know, but it's not being addressed. So please keep that in mind with all this developing going on, that where we're putting these kids that are coming into Rahway, where are they going to go? And thank you.
Thank you. Do I have anyone on my left that would like to speak on O2024? Do I have any council members that would like to speak on O2024? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Jablisco,
Yes.
Miles,
No.
Mojica,
Yes.
Newberry,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Timmons,
Yes.
Parson.
Yes.
If I could, Council President, please have the floor for a moment.
Yes, Mayor, please.
I would just like to thank you, everyone, for your comments, and this is what democracy is, and I truly appreciate you coming up and sharing your concerns. Just so you know, the individuals that will be at the negotiating table with whoever the developer is will be myself, Matt Pukovich, and Robert Landolfi. And I can assure the public, and I can promise you right now, and you can hold me to it, that that building will not be 12 stories. It won't be 8 stories. It's probably going to be a 2/4 6-story building. We have not yet discussed the amount of units, because that will depend on them being able to provide the parking for those units. I am pushing for mostly 1-bedroom units, so therefore it less of a chance of having children in these units. So that is the vision for that plot of land. The vision for downtown is the success that you've seen over the last 20 years through our redevelopment efforts. Started with Mayor Jim Kennedy, and I remember some of the same things being said back then. But yes, I believe in responsible development. I believe in the comprehensive development and making sure that when we do development, it is revitalizing an entire area. I will let the CFO shortly speak to the taxes and the tax revenue that comes in, but I can also assure you to the public and to the council that the schools have less than 100 students in these apartments that have been constructed in our downtown over the last several years. 100 students out of thousands of units. I will get you the exact number, and we will actually publish the exact number once we receive it from the school coming up this year. We are seeing a huge turnover in single-family homes here in the city of Rahway. I know my wife is a realtor. I have friends that are in the real estate business, and homes. We had over 200-something homes for sale the last, I think, like 3-4 years ago. There's 30 in the city of Rahway, and probably less now. Rahway is sought after because it is a good community. It is a community people love and they want to move to because they hear all the great things about it. We also offer something called all-day pre-K, which I know about a dozen families chose to buy a house in Rahway because of the expensive cost of childcare and understanding that I can send my kids to school a year earlier. So that all these reasons are why we're seeing an increase in the school. And I'm not saying we don't need to address it. I've been speaking with the superintendent on ways the city and the school district can come together to address this issue. But it is not just a development issue. It is a issue of Rahway being sought after. We have a turnover, like I said, in the single-family homes that were once for sale only 3 or 4 years ago, which now are occupied with mostly individuals with families. Speaking on the tax revenue, the individual plots of land that are now being taxed, the pilot will bring in more than them altogether now at this point. So the city is now increasing tax revenue. I'm going to let the CFO speak a little bit more to that because we have discussed this in the past, but I feel it's important that we address it again. So thank you so much, Council President, for the time, and I'd like the CFO to speak on the tax revenue portion of the ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Frank.
Thank you. As we all know, when you pay $1 of municipal taxes, it's split between the municipality, the school, and the county. And of that, depending on everyone's respective budgets, we keep about 35 to 40% of that tax dollar, 35 to 40 cents of that tax dollar. When we have a pilot agreement with the developments are designed not to yield children into the school system. Therefore, when the law was created about pilot payments, and pilot's an acronym for the residents, for payment in lieu of taxes. So instead of charging developers a regular tax bill, we make a financial arrangement called a pilot agreement with them. So for every pilot dollar the city receives, instead of only keeping 35 to 40 cents on the tax dollar for our portion, we keep 95 cents of the pilot dollar to the city, and the remaining 5 cents goes to the County of Union. And that's the state law, and it works out very well because we bear the burden of expenses for the development in terms of infrastructure and public support. Pilots for the city have been very, very beneficial. This year alone, in the budget that you just introduced last week, there's an excess of $3.7 million in pilot revenue, which directly reduces the tax burden on the citizens. And that's just for this year. If I were to go back and add up each respective years of pilot revenue since the inception of the redevelopment agency, it would be in the tens and tens of millions of dollars. So it's a very positive revenue source for the city, and I would recommend it continues forward for these types of projects. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and CFO, for providing that additional information. I hope it was I think it was pretty informative, so thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to O2124.
An ordinance amending Chapter 393 for the tree removal and replacement.
Do we have anyone signed up to speak on that?
No one signed up.
Okay. Do I have anyone on my left that would like to speak on that? On O2124? Anyone on my right that would like to speak on O2124? Does council have any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes. O2224.
A bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in the acquisition of various equipment, buying in the city of Rahway in the county of Union, state of New Jersey, appropriating $1.2 million, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,142,857 bonds or notes of the city to finance part of the cost thereof.
Do we have anyone that signed up to speak on O2224?
No one has signed up.
Do I have anyone on my left that would like to speak on O2224? Anyone on my right? Does council have any questions or comment? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown? Jablisco? Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes. Okay. Looks like we have a block party permit, BP 2405. That was a B 2425. May I please have Parker and Brown on that, please? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brooks?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Jablisco?
Yes.
Miles?
Yes.
Mohica?
Yes.
Newberry?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Timmons?
Yes.
Parson?
Yes. At this time, we're going to go ahead and we're going to open the floor to the public for comment. All speakers are required to state their name and address. You'll have 5 minutes. And please direct everything to council. Do we have anyone that signed up to speak tonight?
No one has signed up.
Okay. Do I have anyone on my left that would like to speak? Please step forward, provide your name and address. You have 5 minutes and address directly to council, please.
Gail Baldessari, 69 Reynolds Avenue in Whippany. I would like to thank you for letting me speak tonight, and I want to address the last meeting that we had when we were here about the TNR program. For those that don't know what it is, it's about the Trap, Neuter, Return program, which is a program that reduces free roaming cats in all towns from New Jersey. They are everywhere. Following the last meeting, we were approached by 3 individuals that needed help. So I realize we don't have an ordinance in place, but the need is great. With some of the other volunteers' help, we just felt we couldn't wait. We've already rescued 9 kittens, spayed and neutered 2 adults, and we will be doing 3 more by the end of the week. So with a program that has not begun yet, from last month to this month, we have already done 14 cats in Rahway. The need is great. Constituents are reaching out already. It is kitten season, as we all know, and we know that you're still in negotiations for this Trap, Neuter, Return program. We're very excited about it. We're very hopeful about it. The need is great, as it is in every town. This is not just unique to Rahway, and we hope it proceeds soon so that we can really get going on the program. Also, briefly, I would like to address some comments that were made last time, which I would like to debunk. I personally, everything that I tell the council or that I speak on, I can back up with scientific evidence through veterinarians, CDC reports, Health and Human Services reports. I cannot stand here and not debunk the comments that were made last time about free roaming cats going in people's backyards, throwing up, their dog going outside, coming in contact with it, and dying. I'm not going to tolerate this kind of nonsense. If people want to come up here and speak on something like that, I would like some scientific evidence, because all it does is make people fearful. All it does is make people believe that this is true, when in fact, I know. I've been doing this 22 years. I've worked with health departments, I've worked with animal controls, I've worked with numerous veterinarians, I've run 2 humane societies. It is not true. And I realize that not everyone is a cat lover, not everyone is into the program, but to come up here and say something like that, I need to debunk this or see physical evidence that this is true. So thank you so much. We are excited about this program. We are gathering already many volunteers, and we have our fingers crossed. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have anyone to my right that would like to speak? Step forward and provide your name and address, please.
Good evening. Alan R. Levy, 254 Oak Street. One question. When was the last time the SID met, the Special Improvement District? Okay. As you know, I spoke last month about the absolutely horrific way this council dealt with the Rahway Arts Business Partnership last month, 3 years ago. And, you know, I had asked if this council, if anyone was interested in trying to reach out to the people who were involved and were disrespected by this council. And it's fair to say, I don't think one of you did. So obviously that's your choice to do that, but let's face it, you can't run a city by yourselves. The mayor cannot run the city by itself, and the town staff cannot run a city by itself. You need volunteers. You need people who care about the city to come out and give their time and effort for the city. And if you treat the ones who have devoted so much of their time and efforts and given so much, and if you treat them with disrespect, well, guess what? They're not coming back, and neither are a lot of other people. So, you know, I would just keep that in mind. And again, one of the great things about this city is its commitment to the arts. And what are you guys doing in that regards? You had a great program, and, you know, whether or not people misrepresent it, or people misrepresent what is done, or personalities at issue, you know, it's the burden on this city and the council to communicate with those members of the community and find out what more can we do for the arts of this city. And I'm just going to leave on one last note. Listening to somebody with a British accent honoring the French for the French-American Honor Month was perhaps one of the most ironically hilarious things I've heard in a long time, so thank you. Also, yes. Also, thank you for voting no on that second resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have anyone to my left that would like to speak? Anyone to my right? Please step forward and provide your name and address.
Hello, Lisa Vandiver, 254 Oak Street. Alan stole my first question, which is, when is the SID meeting? According to the What is Happening in Rahway website, it's supposed to happen directly after these council meetings. I'm not aware that that's still happening. Since I remarked at the last meeting that there are no minutes up, the SID website does have a lot of meeting reports. There are still no meetings since meeting minutes since January 2023, and no indication of who is doing what. Who do we contact if we're interested in things? So who is making all those reports? There's a lot of activity going on, just don't know who is involved in that. A couple of other issues on transparency. The City of Rahway website, I noticed there were some updates today on the planning board minutes are going up. We're still back to January 2023. What happened after that? That the Rahway Redevelopment Association Committee, no minutes for that. Rahway City Council minutes are a little behind. So I think a lot of your issues have to deal with the problem of transparency and accountability. People become disgruntled when it's hard to find out what is going on in our city. I thank Mr. Rosario for his report on the finances, but it shouldn't take a citizen having to go to Oprah and wait time and time again to get that information. Please be more forthcoming. There are budgets on the website that are years old. A lot of these proposals aren't up on the website. So, and then when we approach you, we get this sense of resentment that we're questioning you somehow. So please just be a little more transparent. And one final question. Thank you, Councilwoman Miles, for your vote no. I was kind of astonished at that adamant yes vote for this after all this commentary. So I'm curious as to when you will actually discuss these issues. When did you get your information about this? You know, most of the people in Rahway just heard about it from Rahway Rising. Very thankful for Rahway Rising, because without them, we really wouldn't know a lot of what's going on in the city. So I am curious, when do you meet and discuss these issues before voting on them? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do I have anyone on my left that would like to speak? Anyone on my right? Please step forward, provide your name and address.
Bernice Young, 200 East Milton Avenue. We're into hot fun in the summertime. We've been waiting for this. We have programs planned. The hills are alive with music, activities from the library, the senior center. We have a trip going to the Newark Museum. And with the passing of Willie Mays, I hope Mr. Brooks, with his talent, will draw a picture of Willie Mays for the senior arts. And the library doesn't have a working water fountain for years. And for the weekend in October, where we go around different historical places, if you would consider a shuttle, I'd like to get my passport stamped more than one place. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have anyone else on my left? Anyone on my right? This portion of the meeting is closed. Does council have any comments that they would like to make? Councilman Brooks? Go ahead, Mayor, please.
I just want to, please, thank you for the floor. Ms. Vanderveer, you are absolutely right. I am sorry. That stuff should be up there, and that is on me. That's not on the city council, and I will make sure it is up there ASAP. And thank you for bringing that to my attention, to our attention. That does not fall on council. That falls on me, and I apologize for that. To Mr. Levy, you and I have always had a good relationship. I think we've always respected one another's opinion, even when they may differ. I do disagree with the whole respect aspect. You know, respect is a mutual thing that is given between two parties, and you know, no one speaks about the disrespect of those same individuals towards the city council and numerous other individuals. So we won't even get into that. But I can assure you that when you talk about public art and the investment in the arts in the city of Rahway, this administration and this city council has went above and beyond and done more than any administration in the very near past. We've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know, not only into our arts, but also to our businesses. We believe we have a vision of growing our downtown and using the arts as an economic stimulus. And we also have many other things that we plan on doing when it comes to performing arts as well. We've had many murals up and put it up and around the city, and we have more to come. And this investment in the arts doesn't stop with just a couple of you know, photo opportunities. It's a continuing investment, and it's an economic investment as well. So thank you so much for your you know, for your comments, and that's what, like I said before, that's what makes our democracy great. Thank you so much, Council President, for the time to speak.
Thank you, Mayor. Does council have any comments?
I'll make a comment.
Councilman Brooks?
I thank you, Council President. Want to commend the City of Rahway for putting together, and the Social Justice Commission for putting together a very fantastically done Juneteenth celebration. 4 scholarships were given out of $1,000. It went in a different direction. So typically you see scholarships, they go towards people pursuing a traditional 4-year collegiate institution. This time it went to those pursuing trades. College isn't for everybody. We recognize that. So I'm glad that the city was able to think outside of the box when it came down to that. I feel compelled to just make a statement in regards to a certain narrative. Inclusivity, it can't be a buzzword. You know, we can't say everybody's welcome here in Rahway, and then, but not those people, not renters. Whether you lived in Rahway for 28 years like I have, some longer in this room, or for 1 year, if you live in town, you are a Rahwegian. So I just want to put that out there. And additionally, I did want to just back up what the mayor mentioned as well, and myself and Councilwoman Timmons alluded to this in the prior meeting. I'm speaking from experience, okay? I think I'm qualified to speak on this topic. I'm a licensed realtor myself. I also was a property manager at Park Square Apartments. Can't give you an official number, but if I tell you it was less than 10 children, school-age children, in 2 of those buildings of 144 units, that would be a gross exaggeration. It probably might have been less than 5. So I understand the concerns about overpopulation of schools. I have many family members who are attending the schools as well. I went to the graduation. It was a very big class, so certainly have very similar concerns, as do, I believe, all the council members, including the mayor, has. So I just want to, put that out there. Again, in Rahway, everybody is welcome. We can't gatekeep this town. It's a sought-after town. People like it, and we welcome everybody. If you want to end up in Rahway, the door's open.
Thank you, Councilman Brooks.
Council President.
Councilwoman Miles.
I would like to just explain why I voted no. I've kind of gone back and forth in my head with this particular vote. When I walk downtown, I love Rahway downtown. You'll see me around town, and I really like when I'm walking, past the Watt. I like the Watt Hotel. I like walking down Irving. I like the Fulton Cleaners. Using the coffee shops. I'm around there, and part of my vote no was that I don't want to see it so built up that it loses the local feel as well. So that's personal to me. And I kind of went back and forth that someone had reached out about housing, which that has nothing to do with what the council voted on, in the sense that that's a lease that is not renewed. So that's different. But it's really the feel I get when I walk downtown, and we have wonderful places downtown. And in this particular area, I just don't want it. I don't want it to look so built up or have that feeling, and that's why I voted no. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Miles. Do any of the council would like to speak? Councilwoman Timmons.
Yes, I'd just like to take a moment to commend DPW for their cleanup during the recent storms. We really do appreciate all the hard work that the guys put in all of the overtime to help keep us safe and keep the city clean and keep Rahway as attractive as it is. So I just wanted to say thank you and let you know that I do recognize, and as well as council and the mayor, we all recognize your hard work. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other council member like to speak? Okay. On behalf of myself and council, I would like to thank you all for coming out and sharing your cares and concerns about the city that we all love and we call home. So again, thank you, and we will do our best to continue providing information to you concerning things that are coming up within the city. May I have a mover and a second to adjourn?
So moved.
I'd second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.